and he is complete. That's Xavier Fuller. Touchdown, Marion Giants.
He's gone.
And he is across midfield. One man to beat, and he's beat him down to the 20s, 10, and he is.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the WIWU TV High School Football Game of the Week. It's the Muncie Bearcats visiting the Marion Giants. Along with my partner, Ron Vermillion, I'm Roger Alcock, and Ron should have a good one tonight. The Marion Giants come off a difficult loss on the road at Lafayette Jeff. They have a lot of distractions this week with homecoming, but we've heard they've had a great week of practice, and they need to bounce back tonight, don't they?
They really need to bounce back, because with 3 wins in the 3 remaining games, they can finish in the top half of the conference, maybe in the top 3 even. And certainly the buzz from last week was not necessarily just the loss, but the fact that they had a 9-minute on the play clock a series where they had 4 holding calls and 2 other penalty calls, and still scored. And it took 25 minutes of actual time to get that done. So it just shows that there is an offense there, and that offense is going to have to be hot tonight against Muncie Central.
Well, speaking of offense, when you talk Marion Giants offense, you talk Justin Johnson. He's about 80% of their game in terms of he runs the football. He passes it, of course, for them. But they would love to see maybe some of their tailbacks pick up the load tonight.
Well, Justin Johnson is 80% or more of the offense, but certainly they're going to look at Darrell Brown there, Jr. at tailback. They also look at J.K. Thomas, and not only is Darrell Brown a very good offensive person, but he's also leading the team in defense with tackling points.
Speaking of defense, also number 9, Mr. Burke, he leads a very good Marion Giants defense, but they'll be put to the test tonight against a Muncie team that can put up some points.
They do, and they are strong in the passing game. Burke has 4 interceptions for the year.
All right, well, don't go away. When we come back, toe will meet leather. We'll kick this one off. A beautiful night here in Marion for the Bearcats and the Giants here on WIWU TV.
Drop. And he is complete. That's Xavier Fuller. Touchdown, Marion Giants.
He's gone.
And he is across midfield. One man to beat, and he's beat him down to the 20, 10, and he is.
And welcome back to Dick Luton Stadium here at Marion High School, where the Giants of Marion will host the Muncie Bearcats. Muncie, Ron, comes into this ball game 1-5 overall, 1-3 in the North Central Conference. The Giants, of course, 4-2, 2-2 in conference play. But the Bearcats are a dangerous team at 1-5 because they can put up points. They got a lot of weapons offensively. They got some good athletes. They've got good quarterback play. So you never know in a game like this what could happen.
We were talking to Coach Scott Pethel of Muncie yesterday in our production meeting about what happened when they put 56 points up against Richmond and held them to 14. He said, well, we played an entire game. And that's the problem that Muncie has had resulting in this 1-5 record, is the fact that they make mistakes and they get penalties, and they just aren't consistent. For them to come out against this good Marion Giant offense and defense, they're going to have to be consistent like they were against Richmond, dominate the time of play, I might add that, and then from that point, just push it over the end zone every time they get a chance.
Well, the Bearcats will be led by the quarterback number 12, Cam Gillentine. He's a good quarterback. again, talking to Coach Pethel earlier, he just doesn't have a lot of varsity experience. But with every game, he gains experience, and so, you know, they're kind of waiting for him to have one of those breakout games.
You know, Roger, he throws at 55%, and that's very good for high school. He averages about 108 yards a game, and he has a couple of, actually 3 running backs behind him in number 1, Abbott, and number 11, Young, who is a questionable tonight, and then 21 Cleves, and that will be primary offense, and they will throw it to number 15 Stevenson, and Young, by the way, is the leader in receptions.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are going to go down to the field. We're going to check in with the third man of our broadcast crew tonight, the good doctor, Greg Feebig.
The mood coming out of the locker room is excitement. You may see homecoming people in the stands, but in the minds of the football players, it's all about football. They've wiped homecoming out of their minds till the game's over. So it should be pretty exciting. They look like they're geared up and ready to go. Back to you, Roger.
All right, we'll be checking in with Greg Feebig throughout the night, and that does kind of confirm what we had talked about a little bit earlier, the distractions of homecoming. Right. They're there, but the coaches feel, the Marion coaches feel that their players have responded well to it and have focused on what they need to do this week. We'll see if that's true, because I think we'll be able to tell if they get off to a good start and if they maybe eliminate some of the issues that they had in their 2 losses, those being penalties and turnovers.
Still have a very good defense. It's only given up 11.5 points a game. And last week they gave up over 30. But that was to a very good Lafayette team who's ranked in 6A. And, of course, Marion is a 3A team. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how this defense holds Clement Gillentine on his running and passing. And he's primarily a passer. But and then how the Giants will come out. We just mentioned the fact that they're going to start somebody different other than J.K. Back there at the tailback. And they'll come out, and certainly we're going to keep our eyes on number 2, Justin Johnson, who is a 6 foot, 165-pound senior who has 80% plus of the offense. And, oh, by the way, he just happens to be 3rd on the team in tackles, too.
Well, we'll see him right away, because the Muncie Bearcats have won the toss. They'll defer to the second half, so they'll kick it away to the Marion Giants. And, you know, Justin Johnson, we say his name a lot because he does so much. Again, he's got some good weapons, though. He's got good tailbacks. We haven't talked about their receivers, though. Braden Burke, who's one of their leading defenders, is their leading receiver. Travis Metzger is out there on the wideout as well. So he's got some weapons out there to utilize.
He also has 2 guys that can just run the ball back very well on the kickoff, and we're going to see that happen maybe because we've seen him play a couple times, and they've almost busted it for a touchdown on several cases. They seldom get pinned back behind the 20. So this is an offensive threat, the kickoff return team.
Well, Braden Burke and J.K. Thomas, I believe, back to return. They kick off here for the Giants. We're just moments from kickoff here. A beautiful night in Marion, Indiana. A cloudless sky, a very bright sun in our eyes right now, but I imagine by the end of this first quarter, it'll be behind the trees, and might even see the temperatures get a little cool out there.
Yeah, it could get into the 40s, and you remember last week we were in the 90s and our press box was in the hundreds. Well, it's going to be less than half of the temperature it was last week, so it should be a fast track as we get ready to kick this game off.
Well, Sam Bowell ready to kick it off here for the Muncie Bearcats, and we're underway. It's well over the head of J.K. Thomas. Good leg there by Sam Bayul, and the Giants will have to set up shop on their first drive, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
They'll come out, and of course the Giants will run a variety of plays. They're primarily option, but when they throw, you throw out everything, because the way Justin Johnson scrambles, he can make a passing play, a run play as well, and sometimes he gets that ball downfield when it just looks like there's nothing available.
Johnson will start things off in the shotgun. Brown is offset to his left and we're underway. He hands it off to Brown, who's met at the line of scrimmage and picked up maybe a gain of a yard.
Yeah, that was just a straight ahead off tackle, a handoff, and Muncie running that tree front, and there have 4 backers. The outside backer at that time stepped up and got the tackle as they hold Marion to just a yard gain.
And Coach Chambers talked about the linebackers in our meeting or our conference call earlier this week. They do have some pretty good linebackers in there. Here is the handoff, the sweep, working the right side, and boy, just a power move that time by Montreal Pogue. Doesn't go down before he's knocked out of bounds.
That was a sweet play as Montreal comes out this way, and he's quick. He gets it turned. What great speed, and we did not talk about him early. Here is the play that we just saw. He gets it turned. If it wasn't for running over one of his own, Metzger, why, maybe even more yards.
Here comes the blitz. Oh, picked up, throw on the run, and it's an incomplete pass. Looked like Brown picked up the blitzer there. But good coverage from the Muncie Bearcats.
And right now we are up in the press box, and we're looking directly into that sun. It will dissipate.
Yeah.
But it's a good shot that we have down there on the ground when we get that ground shot, because the sun is not reflected in that ground shot.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Marion Giants. That was their first pass play. It falls incomplete. Here's a new formation here as Brown is lined up kind of in an I. Here's Brown right up the middle. He'll gain a yard, maybe 2.
Carried by Darryl Brown.
And we talked about Brown getting the start over J.K. Thomas because he was late Saturday after they got back at 2:30 in the morning. So we'll see J.K. Coaches said that. We'll see him. But just sending a message, look, everybody has to be there on time. Everybody has to do what's asked of him. If not, why, then you pay the price.
2nd down and 10 for the Giants. Pogue in motion, but here's the handoff. But hit in the backfield and taken down for the loss was J.K. Thomas. And so now the Giants are looking at a 3rd and long, and we'll wait for the spot, but it looks to be about a 3rd and 12.
That's Stevenson coming up from, I believe, his outside backer spot, and he nails him for a loss. 4th down, and Giants say, we're going to put in Christian Lemon's hand and let him kick it away.
Pardon me, I missed the down there. Indeed, it is 4th down. The Giants were able to pick up 1 first down, but then they're shut down. And now before the snap, there's a whistle.
What a great punt that was, too. It doesn't count, but a timeout by Muncie Central.
Well, a strange timeout there. Muncie Central must not have had enough guys out there or mislined or something, so they use a timeout.
Going back, we got a little time here. Muncie came out in what I thought was a pretty good defense against this Giants offense. They have 3 down linemen, and on the outside they have 2 linebackers up. They have just 1 linebacker in the middle who scrapes either side, right or left, as the ball goes in motion. And then they have 5 deep cover. 5 deep. They have two guys out on the wide outs, and then a 3 deep cover, and that means that they expect us to throw a lot.
Punting for the Giants.
Well, a quick timeout. And the punt is away, a low line drive, and coming up, making the catch on the run, but slipping down at the 47-yard line. I believe that was Mikey. Is it Mikey Gould there?
Mikey Gould.
Number 25 in on the return there for Muncie. So they'll start their first possession really in tremendous field position here as they're at the Marion Giant 47-yard line.
Giants coming out in their 4 front, 4-4 defense. cover 3 on the secondary.
Gillantine, the quarterback, and there's a false start, and it looked like Andrew Abbott, their tailback, maybe flinched or did something wrong. He can go in motion, but
yeah, he can't just move.
Yeah.
No question that they have athletes. I think you can look out there and see that there are athletes out there. But as the coach told us yesterday, they make mistakes, and there they start their first series off with a mistake.
Here's the handoff to Abbott, working left side, met right in the hole and down there for no gain. And it looked like Darrell Brown in on the tackle, a couple other Giants.
Maybe Pogue.
Now 2nd and 15 for the Bearcats.
Pogue in on that tackle as he comes up from his linebacker spot.
In motion, stopping, going back, that's level.
Wow.
Boy, no running room whatsoever there on the 2nd down handoff.
Carried by Andrew Abbott.
Abbott again with the carry. And again,
No gain on the
no
play.
running
Now
room,
3rd
so
and
2
15.
carries, no yards. It'll be 3rd and 15.
Here is the play, and I think it's Darrell Brown comes up and gets the stick right there at the ankles for no gain, and that's a tough one to get away from when your ankles are wrapped up.
Well, we'll see if Gillantine will put it up in the air here. He looks to throw, comes to this near side. Has his man who's wrapped up and run out of bounds at the 45-yard line. A pickup of about 7 yards, but it'll be 4th and 8 yards to go.
Washington, the 6-foot, 155-pounder for the Giants, gets a good stick as he stops him for just a 6-yard gain, and they're looking at 4th down. Looks like they're going to kick, but certainly they are in Marion territory.
Well, only 7 yards on that possession. That penalty hurt them before they even got their first play off. The kick is away. It's high but short. Takes a kind of a neutral bounce, and Abbott will just grab it there. And the Giants will take over at the, looks to be about the 17-yard line.
The difference in that series was Christian Lemons did not have a good kick. He has just kicked this ball well. I think he's averaging 33 yards, and when you talk about the fact that sometimes you have to kick it out of bounds, that's a pretty good punting average. But certainly this last one was only about 25 yards, and they got great field position.
Well, Justin Johnson has 5 wideouts now to start this second possession. No one in the backfield. But on the motion handoff there, J.K. Thomas gets a gain of a couple yards. Well, let's call it 5-yard gain out across the 20 to the 22-yard line.
We're going to give him a 5-yard gain, and he gets the corner turn. But they had 3 blockers out there. They put trips out to the left, use them as blockers. You got him 5 yards as he turns that corner and gets up to the 23-yard line.
Well, 2nd and 5. Just underway here in the first quarter, 8:26 to go on the clock.
Giants are coming out in the empty set again, and this is what they've started. It looks like they've decided to go with a series of empty set plays.
Here comes the blitz over the middle. The intended receiver that time, I think, was Andre Aguilar. He never saw that pass as it sailed up and behind him, and it falls through the turf.
That was a dangerous one because it was thrown into a crowd of there were 2 Muncie Central Bearcats there, but the ball was not caught, and the Giants live again for a 3rd down and 5, and you're looking to move the ball here early in this first quarter.
3rd and 5. Here in motion was Pogue. Here's a nice hole over the middle. Here's J.K. Thomas, who slips through a tackle, another tackle, and finally knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
I think Coach got his attention by not starting him. He's coming off limping just a little bit, but J.K. has that quick burst of speed, and then once he gets into that quick burst, we're going to see it right here, right up the gut. He gets touched right there. 2 gets him. He gets through that. That's at yards after contact. 4 guys touching before he's finally run out of bounds, but first down for the Marion Giants.
Elijah Young finally making that tackle as he put J.K. Thomas out of bounds there, but it's a Marion Giant first down. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. And the keeper, Thomas, excuse me, that was Juice Johnson who carried it. I'm going to be honest with you, Ron. All I saw in that play was a glare.
That sun is getting down into our eyes, but certainly we talked about how Johnson is 80%. Here he keeps it. He fakes the sweep, and he keeps it, gets up there for another first down, and the Giants are rolling.
Nice gain there, and so now a couple first downs for the Giants on this drive. 7:47, the clock ticking away here in the first quarter. Giants in Muncie territory. 5 wideouts once again here for the Giants. Long snap count. Johnson fires across the middle, and it's almost intercepted by number 4, Omar Campbell, but looked like the receiver cut that route off short.
And it sailed. It did sail on Juice. I've noticed since the Giants' running game is starting to go, here we see that play, and the only one that was even close was the Muncie Central Bearcat, Omar Campbell. But I was saying, defensively now they're starting to bring their guys up because the Giants were taking advantage of the fact that they had 5 guys deeper than 5 yards. Now they have just 2 guys deeper than 5 yards.
Here's the high snap. Johnson's going to pull it in and run. It looked like it was a quarterback keeper the entire way, but he's going to lose about a yard. And so now Marion will be looking at a 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Do they have 3rd and long? Yes. Here is the play, and you see that Juice Johnson has nobody. He's caught from behind and in the front and loses a yard. 3rd down and long. Last week we saw them come big on 3rd down plays, getting first downs on regularity against Lafayette.
Well, Johnson will be in the pistol. He has Thomas in the deep, but he is in big trouble. He's going to turn it up the sideline, but they're going to lose, 6 yards at least on that play. And the Muncie Central Bearcat defense, Ron, they've come to play tonight.
They have, and we talked athleticism. They are quick. They are fast. And we ran the Giants ran the toss that time. And it was a deep toss. It was a 10-yard deep toss as J.K. loses some 7 yards on that, and we'll give them a 4th and 17.
Well, the Giants will have to kick it away. Lemon's back at his 35-yard line. Boy, he got a big rush, but got that one away. Good kick. And it drives the Bearcats all the way back to the 10-yard line where Mikey Gould didn't make the fair catch, but wow, that was a huge kick from Lemons there. Really switched the field.
It was, and I think you've seen from the Muncie Central Bearcat defense that they're not going to just sit back and let the Giants run the ball. They're bringing people every down. On the toss, they brought the 2 outside backers, and they just blitzed in to the play. So far, Muncie Central playing good defense.
Here's the first play, and that time Abbott has a hole, and he's going to bull his way forward for the first down.
Giants miss 3 tackles on this play. 3 guys that could have brought him down, could have stopped the new first down, but he picks up 11 yards and a new first down.
First down for the Bearcats as they get a little breathing room here out over the 20. Here's Abbott, a little trap play there, and picks up a couple yards on first down. 3-4 yards there, and they'll take that on that play.
Well, and the Giants just overran the play, and they did that on, here we see, and watch the linebacker blitz overrun the play here, right past it, and he gets some 4 yards, and you're right, they're going to take that in every time, 3.5, 4 yards.
2nd and 7. Gillentine, he's going to keep it, and no running room there whatsoever. In fact, he's going to lose a couple yards.
Seen both defenses stop the running game. Marion from their 4-3 defense, where they have 4 down linemen and then 3 very good linebackers coming up in behind them. Muncie has stopped Marion's running game with 3 down linemen and 5 very good linebackers that support any kind of a sweep.
3rd and 9, Gillentine. Quick hitter here to near side, wrapped up and taken down immediately as poked down low, and Metzger up high in on the tackle for the Giants. And so once again, Muncie Central is going to have to kick it away.
Quick jailbreak screen out here to our left, and the Giants are all suckered in on the line, but there is Metzger coming up, and a good chest-to-chest tackle for no gain.
Sam Bayul back to punt this one away for Muncie. Got pressure and just got that one away.
Not a very good punt.
Boy, and that one is going to be downed near midfield, but that was a little scary because Joey Hutchinson, the big lineman for the Giants, didn't see that football, and he was a little too close for comfort on that one.
Looked like Dre Aguilar put the pressure on, and he's coming off with his hands, holding his hand, so he might have got a little tick of the ball, just enough to slow it down. Only a 20-plus yard kick. Giants in great field position at their only on 49, 3rd possession of this game in the first quarter.
4:21 to go here in the first quarter. Giants would like to take advantage of this outstanding field position here. Burke in motion, gets the handoff to the left side, turns it up, and gets a nice gainer of about 7 yards into Muncie territory at the 44-yard line.
Braden Burke, and he's only 5'10", 185 pounds. Turned the corner, got a block, and he put his shoulders down. Here we see him. Watch him turn this corner, get his shoulders low, come down, take on tacklers, get an extra 3 yards. That's that yak yardage that we talk about on the contact.
So it's 2nd down. We'll call it a short 4 yards to go for the first down. Johnson, tons of time. He's rolling to his right now, gets a block. Unloads it down the sideline, has his man at the 5. Touchdown.
Isaiah Hamilton.
Isaiah Hamilton, you're right, with the first score of the night for the Giants on the big touchdown strike, 44 yards from Justin Johnson.
How much time did he have to throw? And Isaiah, that was not his route. He saw Juice Johnson scramble a little bit, so he took off for the hills, and Johnson hit him on the move. He was open some 10 yards, so it was just kind of a walk-in after that.
Boy, you got a nice block Justin Johnson did down here as well. In now for the extra point. The snap is down, the kick is up. It is good. And with the extra point from Sam Vermillion, the Giants have the 7-0 lead.
That extra point has, the first one has been trouble for the Giants. Michael Siebold is the snapper there. Eli Lutens has been holding for Sam for 4 years, and together they make that team that gets the extra points and the field goals in. And nice snap that time by Michael Siebold to get things going.
Well, that touchdown drive, Ron, only 2 plays, 49 yards, actually 51 yards,
51.
excuse me, for the Giants as they get the early lead 7-0. But boy, that play took a little time to develop, but I think that's how Hamilton got open, is those defensive backs.
It was because
lost track.
They are only rushing 3 guys, and the Giants 5 kept their 3 out, and Johnson scrambled to his right a little bit, got a good block from his tailback, and got the ball down to Isaiah Hamilton for a touchdown.
Bearcats. Boy, nice return forming here, all the way out across the 35, near the 40-yard line. Let's see who that was on the return there for Muncie. That was number 88 for Muncie, Caleb Beams.
And Beans he gets past the Giants coverage. He trips and kind of knocks himself down, but great field position again for Muncie Central. This is their third series. They haven't done much with it, but twice they've had good field position.
They start with the ball on the 39-yard line. And now there's a flag on the play.
I think he was coming forward, so it'd probably be a procedure penalty.
We're assuming it's going to be on Muncie. The second penalty on the Bearcats. It's one a 5-yard variety, so 10 yards in total penalties. And be first and 15.
The tough thing about going back to the touchdown with what Muncie Central runs, that 3-man front, is if you can't get a guy through, it allows time. Even though there's 8 guys in coverage, you still find time to let those guys run and adjust their routes to the quarterback.
Here's Abbott. He's met in the hole there by Darryl Brown. There's not a lot of guys who are going to carry Darryl Brown very far, but did carry Darryl for about another yard or two. Got those penalty yards back, so it'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, it's Darryl Brown. We talked in pregame. He is the leading tackler on this Giant defense. Giants only giving up 11.5 points a game, and that includes the 37 points they gave last week. So for the rest of the games, they have been giving up under 10 points.
Rolling to his left is Gillentine. He gets some pressure, throws on the run, and throws it out of bounds. Beams his intended receiver. And now it looks like Gillentine limping just a little bit there as he goes back towards the huddle.
Good pressure from Brendan Martin that time, his dad's volunteer coach, Holland Martin, with the Giants. It's very tough. The toughest throw in football is for a right-hander running the bootleg to his left, because it's hard to get those hips around. And as you get those hips around, you got to use that right arm to drive. And he just didn't get on the ball what he needed to be, and it sailed out of bounds.
Right now, both players in the backfield for Muncie Central limping just a little bit. Gillentine rolling out under trouble and throws back to the right. There's no one within about 30 yards that time. Looked like they were setting up a screen to that time, but just couldn't develop.
They're looking around. I guess they're not going to call anything, but a good job. As Darryl Brown, once again, he is the man on defense. He puts pressure from that left side on Gillentine, and he just throws the ball away. That's 2 plays in a row he's had to throw the ball away because of pressure from the Marion Giants.
Well, it's going to be a 3-and-out here. And the third punt. No yards on that series, only 1 yard this entire first half, so it's been a good start for the Marion Giant defense. Fair catch called for and taken back at the 29-yard line by J.K. Thomas. And so the Giants now will take it over. Still 2:37 to go here in the first quarter.
How many times do you see a team get 4 offensive series in a quarter?
Yeah.
But certainly the Giants are going to, and the reason is because there hasn't been a lot of offense from either side. The one touchdown that the Giants have scored was on a 2-play series. So there we are. The offense is much more than 3 or 4 plays, and the ball's being punted.
Here we go with Johnson back in the shotgun. Muncie brings 4. Quick hitter over the middle again. I think Burke was the intended receiver. Now Burke was looking at the officials. He thought he was held up. No flags on the field,
no
so
flags.
It'll be second down and 10.
And I wondered if why he didn't actually go up. Maybe felt like he was held, but ball was thrown over his head and underneath Isaiah Hamilton, who was doing the post on the backside.
Well, Johnson's only 1 for 5 throwing the football. Of course, that one completion was the 44-yard touchdown bomb to put the Giants on the board. Here, the handoff on the on the motion, and I think there might be a face mask penalty that's going to be called on the tackle.
And I
Kenny
don't know
Kuhlman.
if it could be on the Giants. I don't know if it's because when he did the stiff arm, I think he put it in the mask of the defender for Muncie Central.
It is a face mask. You're right. It's going to be on the Giants. Coleman did a good job there that time, staying home, keeping contained. And now the Giants are going to march back. So this will be their first penalty, and it's a big one.
Marion is really, the way the defense goes, they're giving Marion between the tackles with 3 guys and one linebacker. The other 7 guys are stopping the outside, and the outside, other than just getting 4 or 5 yards, has not gone very big for the Giants because they're outnumbered out there. They just don't have enough blockers outside to get him through.
Well, it's 2nd and 20. Johnson, play action, it's knocked down. Excuse me, that pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Really impressed by the way Muncie Central is putting pressure on defense by finally bringing linebackers along with those 3 down linemen, and certainly Lavelle came from his linebacker spot to put pressure on Juice.
Going to check in before this play with Dr. Feebig down on the sideline.
Just listening to the coaches, they seem to be a little bit concerned about a couple of the guys on defense, especially number 44, really kind of just doing what he wants. He flips from one side of the ball to the other side of the ball. What you just saw was probably one of the few times where he dropped back in coverage. The rest of the night, he's been in the backfield. Back to you, Roger.
Yeah, we were just talking about
Dr.
Adrian Level.
Dr. Gregg hit it right on the button as Level is 5'9", 190 pounds, and he is quick. He is the reason he's getting there is because he is so darn quick, and the Giants can't handle it.
Well, another Giants penalty all of a sudden, and now it's 3rd and 25. You don't have a lot of 3rd and 25 plays. Johnson throws across the middle, all bad throw, and it's picked off. Picked off at the 30-yard line and brought inside the Giants 25 and down at the 23-yard line, and that's not a good throw.
No, and he threw on the run. He didn't set as he threw it. Underthrew the ball. We're going to see it right here. Here he rolls to his right. He's got a little pressure coming right here, and he tries to lollipop it over the top, and that allows Young, who was listed as questionable for this game, to pick it off.
Well, great field position here for the Muncie Bearcats. Boy, they try to run the football there and nothing doing. And it's the Marion Giants defense. Boy, they've been stout tonight. The offense has struggled a little bit outside of that one play, but the Giants defense has been spot on.
It has been spot on. Brandon Martin on another tackle for loss. We've seen him for 2 tackles for loss early, and we're still in the first quarter. 4 series for both teams.
Yes. Back to the 26-yard line after that loss of 3. Quick hitter. Oh, and it was almost picked off. It was knocked away by Washington, and if he had about another half a step, he would have gone 70, 80 yards for the touchdown.
Aries Washington had the jump on it. He just didn't bring it in. Here he comes up. Boom! I think if he lets that ball come in, tries to catch it, I think that's a pick 6 for sure. But you know, you're going to give him a deflection and a knockdown, and they're back in 3rd down and long as the Giant defense have come up very strong in this series.
3rd down and 12. The keeper now, and there's a fumble, but looks like Gillentine is able to get back. No, the Giants come out of the pile with it. But are they going to say that Muncie was down with it?
Yeah, he was laying on the ground, touching it.
Well, Ron, with the ball right now at the 26-yard line, it might be too far for a field goal. You don't really gain much by trying to punt it away. We'll see what Muncie tries to do here.
4th and 13, and I think right here you're going to see the ball fall out as Gillentine
well, I tell you what,
goes after it.
They blew the whistle, blew the play dead, but he never had possession of that football. Well, they're going to go for it on 4th and 13. Guillotine's going to loft it towards end zone. The receiver is laying down at the turf at the 15-yard line. No flags on the play, however.
No flags, incomplete pass. Giants with 28 seconds left start their 5th series of the first quarter. And it truly amazing to me, but again, it's because each series have been very short series for each team.
Well, there in fact was a flag on the play, but it was not for any kind of pass interference. It was a hold on the offense for Muncie Central. The Giants, of course, will decline it, and they'll take over possession of the football at the 26, 27-yard line.
What I'm seeing, Greg, here, and I hope the Giant scouts up in the box see it, is they are 5-on-3, 5-on-4 actually, in the middle. But they're outgunned on the outside. I think if they run that ball up the middle, they can be pretty consistent on the amount of yards gained.
Well, there it is, the run up the middle to J.K. Thomas, who has a gain of 9 yards on that first down carry. Near another first down, it'll be just about a half a yard shy.
And you say, did you hear their coaches talk? No. That's 46 years of seeing things like that. When they take away something, you say, what are they giving us? And what they're giving the Giants right now is that tackle-to-tackle run. And we saw J.K. Thomas come up and get 9.5 yards, and there is the end of the first quarter.
Well, at the end of one quarter of play, the Giants have the 7-0 lead over the Bearcats of Muncie Central.
We would now like to bring your attention to the track and our cheerleaders in front of the track, or on the track in front of the cheerleaders, is our Hall of Distinction. It is the highest honor a Marion Giant alumni can receive. There are only 48 members, and after tomorrow night, we will add 5 more to that prestigious list.
During some of these
Tonight we have 4
because,
out of the 5 new members of the 2017 class of the Marion Giant Hall of Distinction. From the class of 1958, Art Faulkner. From the class of 1965, Rick Harris. From the class of 1969, Dave Tippy. From the class of 1979, Dr. Courtney Gorman. And from the class of 1986, LaTondra Newton. Fans, please welcome the 2017 Marion Giant Hall of Distinction members.
All right, welcome back. There you saw some of the members or the inductees of the Marion High School Hall of Distinction in ceremonies held earlier today. Art Faulkner, Richard Harris, Dave Tippy, Courtney Gorman. LaTondra Newton could not be here, but some pretty special people down
all
there.
Very deserving. Certainly Dave Tippy was a teacher at Marion for over 30 years. And Rick Harris, class of 65, my class, my graduation class, so my hat's off to him for being a part of that hall.
Well, here we go to start the second quarter. Johnson with the keeper. He has the first down. Didn't get much more than that first down, but he got enough for the first down, so the Giants will have it 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
If he'd have given that time to J.K. Thomas, J.K. probably would have taken it to the house. They all bet on Juice.
Yeah.
Juice, he got just a half yard. That's all he needed. But the give is definitely there as the Giants are going between the tackles.
1st and 10. In motion was Burke, but there is a whistle, and offsides, I believe, is going to be called on
Flag on the play.
the Bearcats. Their 3rd penalty already here in the first half.
I think that was Coleman on the defensive line as he jumps from that defensive end. But once again, it didn't count, but J.K. was open. And the Giants are going to hammer that until they move people inside to stop it.
So the Giants will have it 1st and 5 gives you quite a few options now, 1st and 5.
Yeah, there, you know, and this is where you might want to go deep.
Here is the handoff. JK trying to bounce it to the outside, has the first down. He's out near midfield, and we'll wait to see where they spot it. Looks to be about the 49-yard line, but some pretty good blocking out here on the edge.
He did, and JK, the 5'7", 160-pound sophomore, he started last year as a freshman, scored over 30 points in one game. I think it was 6 touchdowns in one game, and this young man's got a bright future as long as he makes it to practice on time.
Pogue in motion. Straight handoff up the middle. JK, first down yardage and more. Inside the 40 at the 35-yard line, and another Marion first down. And now the Giants, Ron, on offense are starting to pick up the momentum. And just like you talked about earlier, it's doing
there.
It between the tackles.
Between the tackles, they're outnumbered. You have 5 blockers on 4, and that tackle then has to come from the secondary. And the Giants are just moving the ball very well as they're just pounding the ball right up the gut, so to speak.
Here's the handoff once again. Thomas bounces it outside, breaks a tackle inside the 25. Another first down on a gain of about 13-yard lines.
Steady diet of J.K. Thomas. J.K. Thomas picking up a first down every time he carries the ball right now. Makes a nice move out to his left. Gets run down to about the 20-yard line, 22-yard line, as the Giants are getting ready to go into the red territory of Muncie Central.
10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Burke in motion. Thomas again on the handoff. Left side, runs over one man as he goes out of bounds. Inside the 15 and down at the 14-yard line.
Yards after contact, and J.K. is tough. He is, watch him now as he lowers his shoulder. Gets through 2 right there. He just knocks the guy down and is forced out of bounds, but that's 5 carries in a row, I believe, for J.K., and he is getting all the yardage that the Giants need, and it's just running the clock. A good series for the Marion Giants.
Well, their best series, I would say, so far of the night, particularly in terms of running the football. Juice keeps it left side, turns it upfield. He'll have the first down inside the 10, gets it down to the 6-yard line.
So what do you do when they start taking those outside backers and pinching them in? You pull on the option. And here is Juice Johnson coming around the corner, picking up inside of the 10 down to the 7-yard line, as the Giants now are 1st and goal at the 7, and they're knocking on that touchdown door.
Excuse me, 1st and goal to go from the 7-yard line. Pogue comes in motion, inside handoff. J.K. at the 5, dives into the end zone for the touchdown.
Nice dive into the end zone. He really didn't have to, but a little bit of showmanship there as J.K. Thomas dominates this series with his running ability, and the Giants take it down the right down the field and put one in for a second touchdown. You know, you got I just saw it. I mean, I saw it early. They've seen it, and Muncie's got to do something to stop that inside game.
San Vermillion in to attempt the extra point. The snap is down. Here is the kick. It is good. And the Giants now have the 14-0 lead. That was an 8-play drive. All of those 72 yards coming on the ground, and capped off here by the 7-yard J.K. Thomas touchdown run.
Here he breaks it outside, dives over. He's watched the pros a little bit, but you see that dive into the end zone. It's a little bit of showmanship, but certainly the Giants are ahead now, 14-0, and looking pretty good right now offensively.
Well, that was J.K. Thomas on the carry and Justin Johnson on the ground, and every run started, I think all but one run started inside the tackles. A couple of them were bounced outside, but
the one run that really was designed to go outside was the pole that Juice Johnson had, picked up some 7 yards. So now what they're set up for the passing game because everything's been run. Giants moving the ball against them, so they're going to start looking run, and we know what Juice Johnson can do with the football when he's ready to pass.
Lemons kicks it off for the Giants. It's taken at the 15-yard line. Nice move there, getting it out to the 30. That was Andrew Stevenson with the return for Muncie, and they'll have the football there. 1st and 10 at the 30.
Looked like Ramirez on a tackle down on the legs. Good tackle coming right here. Watch him get down on the legs and take him down.
Well, this is an important possession here for Muncie now, Ron. They trail 14-0 with 9:16 to go. They really need their offense to do something here.
Giants are just daring them to throw right now.
Here's the inside handoff. And a big hit taken at the end of that run by Abbott, but he does get good yardage on 1st down as he picks up 7.
The big hit was from number 7, Darrell Brown Jr., as the leading tackler on this Giants team, and you can see that he gets slowed down, and here comes Brown. Boom. Nice play. Nice hold up and knockdown.
2nd down. Trying to go to the right side. That time was Abbott. That hole closed quickly. Then he was driven back. His forward progress will be marked down at the 36-yard line, so it'll be a loss of 1.
4 guys in on this tackle. Watch this. Here we go. Boom. Nice job by Dre Aguilar. He's a leader up there on that defensive line at that end spot. He's saying, don't try to come around me.
3 times this season, Ron. Half the games that they have played this year, the Giants defense have pitched a shutout. They'd love to do it again here tonight. In the flat here is the completed pass. Looks like it's just enough for the 1st down. And on the reception, Andrew Stevenson from Gillentine does, in fact, get the 1st down.
Metzger on the tackle as the back slides out of the back. Here he comes, and they get him slid out. Metzger comes up, makes a nice solo tackle, but they get the 1st down.
I have that as only the 2nd 1st down picked up from scrimmage for Muncie. Here's the handoff. Abbott, right side with about 5 yards there on 1st down. So again, a good pickup on 1st down for Muncie Central.
Muncie Central going to that running game too. Neither team wanting to throw it a whole lot, which really surprises me because both teams have a very good passer.
In the shotgun, Gillentine waits for the snap. Looks left, throws that way. Has his man right at the 1st down marker, but I think going down, Caleb Beams was just short of the 1st down. In fact, he is going to be about a yard short.
Anthony Reynolds was out there quick, and he fell down, and then he got good support from the Giant secondary.
So now it'll be 3rd and 1, and it's all of a yard. It's not a short one. Well, here's power look from Muncie Central. And now who moved? Oh my goodness, Muncie Central is going to move back 5 yards.
They moved back. I still think they're in 4 down territory. But because they have not moved the ball very well, I think you'll still see them go. That particular play, they had 2 guys out here on the right wing. Looked like they were going to come to the right. The Giants saw that and came up and brought guys to cover it. So
I thought maybe Muncie Central was going to go maybe to a hard count there, try to draw the Giants off, and instead they march back 5 yards, so it's going to be 3rd and 6.
Brought the passing game in for this 3rd and 6.
Abbott, inside handoff. He has the 1st down, picks up more, gets inside the 40, and is finally brought down at the 36-yard line. Abbott with his biggest run of the game.
Abbott was touched 2 yards into his run right here and then he gets out of another one, breaks away, gets tackled, but when you create 6, 7, 8 yards after you get contact, that's going to get you the first downs. That's going to get you touchdowns.
Here's the quarterback keeper, Gillentine. Now he'll fall forward short of the 30-yard line, a gain of 4 on that play. And of course now Ron, with the Bearcats getting deeper inside Giants territory, this is their best offensive series of the game.
It is, and I like the way Gillentine ran that option, because he said to Dre Aguilar, who's responsible for him, you've got to tackle me or I'm going to run the ball.
Abbott, oh, he was tripped up at the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward, and that hole looked like it was maybe there for a first down yard run.
Nice trip at the line of scrimmage. Let's see who gets the tackle here. He just tripped himself.
Yeah, I think he might have hit the leg of his own offensive line, and number 71, Tyler Neal. Well, it is now 3rd down and 4. Guilty. Oh, yeah. Well, he kept it. Nowhere to go. Down right there, and so now it's 4th down.
In the option series, if you haven't given that ball in 2 seconds, you're going to run the ball. And watch him hold it here as he reads and reads, and he just reads a little bit too long. He's holding on to it. Giants get across there, and there's Brown in on the tackle, and another young man that I didn't get the number on.
Well, it'll be 4th down and 4. Muncie Central will go for it. They trail 14-0. Well, and now there's another whistle, and it's another penalty on the Bearcats. That's their 5th penalty now here in the first half.
Coach Scott Pethel said yesterday to us, we make mistakes.
Yeah.
We make mistakes. We've got athletes, but we make mistakes. We've seen those athletes in this series drive the ball down against the Giants. We've also seen those athletes in the last 2 plays move the ball back some 10 yards because of the focus problem that they have.
Well, it's one thing if you make it on 1st down, but when you do it on 4th down and go from 4th and 5 or 4th and 4 to 4th and 9, it just makes it so much more difficult. All right, here's Gillentine. Rolling to his left, fires on the run. Oh, he had his man. That was Beams just past his extended fingertips, but nearly really a spectacular throw there on the run by.
It was a nice throw. Once again, this is the 2nd time I can remember the Giants stop them on 4th down.
Yes,
and in Giant territory. They're going for it every time when they get in Giant territory, but the Giants have done a nice job holding on 4th down. Giants have another series coming up, 3:31 left to go in this first half.
In fact, that is 2 straight possessions that the Giants have stopped the Bearcats and turned them over on down. So here, boy, that snap was really high. Johnson's able to gather it in and just gets it back to the line of scrimmage.
It's when you're in that shotgun formation, a lot of 2 things can happen and 3 things can happen like it is on the pass, and they always say 2 of them aren't good. So Johnson did a nice job of tipping the ball up in the air, like a basketball move, and tipping it into the air, picking it off himself, and getting the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 10 was drawn out as the first quarter was. This 2nd quarter is really flying by.
Yes, it is.
Here's the handoff. Thomas. Boy, he breaks one tackle before he's brought down just shy of the 1st down. He gets it out to the 49-yard line.
Giants line did a great job of blocking right at the point of attack, but they had all 5 of the Giants got their man. That's why you get a 9-yard pickup.
Here's the handoff. Thomas, 1st down. Oh, he was hit right at the line of scrimmage, knocked back, but I believe his forward progress in the spot is going to give him the 1st down.
It's going to be close.
Well, they're saying 4th down.
I'd ask for a measurement. Yeah, they're going to give it to him.
I don't know how you.
He's it.
Well, now it is a 1st down. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. How can it not be? Because it was on the line.
Exactly.
Well, just a little bit of uncertainty there, and the head referee took over and said, no, this is 1st down.
9th 1st down of the 1st half for the Giants. Johnson, handoff. That is Brown just breaking through one tackle, gets it across midfield and into Muncie territory down to the 48-yard line.
Same play as before. We're all 5 linemen. Watch the linemen here. Lock in on their men. He bounces it out, gets down some 7 yards, or 8 yards, let's say, on an 8-yard run. Great blocking by that offensive line.
Here's the pitch. And Pogue had to go low for that pitch. Gets it near the 1st down marker, but it's going to be about a yard shy. And now with a minute 13 to go, the Marion Giants are going to call timeout. That'll be their first used timeout. Ron, in this series, the Giants have run the ball 5 consecutive times. You go back to the series before, they ran 8 consecutive plays. So 13 consecutive plays where the Giants have kept it on the ground. It's been very productive.
Well, and Muncie is set up, especially if they go play action.
Don't forget, Ron, our next game, our Grant County High School Game of the Week, takes us to Oak Hill as the Golden Eagles host the Argyles of Madison Grant in CIC action. That's Friday night, October 6th, 7 p.m. on your home for great local sports, WIWU TV.
What I was ready to say was that if the Giants will not just drop back and throw, but do a play action where they do a dive fake and keep those guys, because it is 3rd and very short. If they can do that, I think that they might get one of those guys out there on the outside.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you, is with a minute 13 to go, somewhere in this series, you would think they're going to maybe try to go deep one more time.
You would think so, but right now that offensive game plan is run the ball.
Johnson with Pogue in motion. Here's the handoff. Brown just runs over one tackle, keeps kicking his legs, and gets it down to the 40.
He busts the would-be tacklers with his shoulders. That man is hard to tackle because he gets his shoulders down. This is textbook on how to run inside. Look at that low shoulder, low center of gravity, and it takes 5 tacklers to finally get Darryl Brown Jr. down.
Well, it does a good job of keeping both hands on the football and taking care of it. 1st and 10.
Classic fullback style runner.
Here's the play action. Here's what we're talking about. Johnson, tons of room to run there. He tucks it in, makes a move at the 35, and then is run out of bounds near the 25. He's out at the 27-yard line.
Great scramble that time by Juice Johnson. Ran some 20 seconds off the clock, and we're down to 35 seconds left in the half. But watch him as he scrambles. All the time in the world to throw. Can't find anybody. So he puts the old ball in the mailbag and takes off and gets the 1st down.
He gets the 1st down to the 27-yard line. 35.8 seconds here remaining. So, boy, I tell you, Ron, they're running the ball well, but you're running out of time if you want to get it into the end zone now here before the 1st half expires. Johnson in shotgun, looks to throw, rolls, makes a move, and just dumps it off.
Which is better than trying to force it. We saw him try to force one, and it was picked off. Right now, he's if he gets it down, I think another 5 or 10 yards, certainly I think it would be within Sam Vermillion's range to kick the field goal.
Giants have 2 timeouts remaining, so they have the entire field to work with. They can go across the middle with a pass if they'd like. They can still keep the ball on the ground and run with it.
Trips out here, and I think you'll see some inside routes with the back guy coming out wide.
Let's look for Burke here. Inside receiver rolling to his left. Johnson unloads on the sideline. Oh, it's picked off. Picked off inside the 5-yard line. There was interception at the 2 by number 2, Jaleel Abram. And so that drive for the Giants is going to stall out there on the second interception of the half here for Muncie Central.
And Juice Johnson thought he had him, but certainly good coverage there by his alternate number over on the other side, Abram, to pick him off. That's his second interception of the first half.
Well, you got to believe that maybe well, he's in shotgun formation. You don't want to mess around too much here and get hit in the backfield for a safety. Here's a handoff. Abbott breaks one tackle, gets it out across the 5 to the 6-yard line.
And that might be enough just to say, let the half end.
Hey, stay tuned for halftime feature. We're going to have a special presentation of the Marion High School Marching Band, their competition performance, direction of Joshua Huff. Well, that is the close of the first half of play. The Giants have a lead 14-0 as we go into our halftime break. But again, Ron, boy, when the Giants have kept the ball on the ground, they've been very good.
They have.
All right, we're going to take a break. Don't go away. We'll be back with more from Dick Luton Stadium and Marion High School.
Join me this season on Good Hoosier Cookin' as we create some of Indiana's best recipes. We're covering traditions like the haystack dinner, sharing some of my favorite fall dishes, beef roast and beef stew, and making several recipes that my mother has made over the years, sloppy joes and potato salad. I'm sure you'll find something new to try. We hope that you join us here each week on WIWU TV 51.
On the bench, that one is tipped and it picked off, intercepted. Way at the 30, the 20, down the sideline, touchdown.
With Mark Bowser, it'll be after the game. And I think he also wants me to touch base with the coach when they come out of the locker room. Right before quarter.
Welcome back to Marion High School, Dick Luton Stadium. We're at the half. The Giants have the 14-0 lead over the Bearcats of Muncie Central, getting ready for the Marching Giants of Marion High School. Want to remind you that this Tuesday night, the Lady Wildcats volleyball team will be in action here in WIWU TV. The Lady Wildcats take on the Cougars from Mount Vernon Nazarene. That match will be at 7 p.m. right here on WIWU TV, streaming on our Facebook page, or you can watch the Watch ESPN app on ESPN3. It's IWU Lady Wildcat Volleyball Tuesday, October the 3rd, and they are having an outstanding season, the Lady Wildcats are. So we're super excited about having our first broadcast of Wildcat Volleyball coming to you next week. Now here in Marion at Dick Luton Stadium's impressive performance from the Giants. Of course, in the first half, we said we had a 14-0 lead, but the story of the night has been the defense of the Giants. They've held the Bearcats only 2 first downs. Of course, the Bearcats have hurt themselves with 5 penalties in that first half. Only 25 yards in penalty yardage, but those couple of times those penalties have stalled out what could have been some pretty impressive drives. We're going to send it down to the field here and take a look at the ROTC program here at Marion High School and the Marching Giants for our halftime performance.
Presenting our freshman prince and princess, Javion Davis and Tareya Fields. Javion is the son of Alicia Moore and John Davis II. His activities are football, basketball, baseball, and M Club. Tareya is the daughter of Deshelle White. Her activities are dance team and cheerleader. Presenting our sophomore prince and princess, Billy Rogers and Lauren McMullen. Billy is the son of Cloris Jackson and Billy Rogers. His activity is track. Lauren is the daughter of Chanel McMullen and Alexander Norwood. Her activity is dance at CSA. Presenting our junior prince and princess, Latrell Guerrero and Gabrielle Reed. Latrell is the son of Maricela Guerrero and Tony Neal. His activities are dance team and CSA. Gabrielle is the daughter of Chastine Reed. Her activities are track and soccer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing our top 3 candidates for King and Queen. Amante King escorting Tiger Phillips. Thomas Shink escorting Adriana Allen. And Justin Johnson escorting Erica Baxler. And now, presenting our second runner-up for King and Queen, Thomas Shink and Erica Baxter. Thomas is the son of Ken and Angie Shink. His activities are swimming and JROTC Raiders, drill and color guard. Erica is the daughter of Erica Baxter. Presenting our first runner-up for King and Queen, Amante King and Tiger Phillips. Amante is the son of Katasha Sanders and Lily Walker. His activities include golf, soccer, chapter for campus life, acapella choir, chamber choir, jazz band, Black History Club, commentator, worship leader of River Church. Tiger is the daughter of Troy and Anna Phillips. Her school activities are Senate, M Club, and softball. homecoming king and queen, Justin Johnson and Adriana Adler. Justin is the son of Michael Johnson and Tommy Wellington. His activity is football. Adriana is the daughter of Jessica Armstrong. Her activities are JROTC Raiders, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and MHS Greek Society. Congratulations to all students who were elected and represented classes for 2017. Your MHS homecoming court. Once again, let's give them a round of applause. And now, your Marion High School Marching Giants. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, 2017 homecoming court. Tonight, the Marion High School Alumni Association is presenting a check to the Marion High School band in the amount of $6,200. This money will be used to purchase new marching band uniforms. Thank you to the Marion High School Alumni Association for this generous gift to help us secure our new marching band uniforms. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your Marion High School Marching Giants.
Saturday? Busy?
Yeah, basically.
pursuit of happiness. Fourscore and 7 years ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Marion High School Marching Giants.
We're going to do this pretty quick. I don't know what they want to go back to.
All right. That was the Marion Marching Band, and once again, we're halftime here at Dick Luton Stadium here in Marion High School, and just really quickly run some scores that we have from other high school football games from the county tonight. Last score we have from Frankton, Eastbrook is just now rolling over Frankton 42-6. Eastbrook, of course, will remain undefeated unless there is a comeback of biblical proportions from Frankton, but should stay undefeated and, of course, ranked number 1 in state in 2A. Blackford and Madison Grant in a tight one. Madison Grant looking for their first win, but it's 8-0 Blackford in that one. And the last score we had from over at Oak Hill was the Mississippi Indians with a 19-0 lead at Oak Hill. It's homecoming night at Oak Hill as well. But of course, the story of this first half here for the Marion Giants was their defense. I think their defense was outstanding in that first half. Their offense finally got it rolling on the ground, but defensively they were outstanding. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but we're going to check in down on the field with the doctor, the good doctor, Greg Feebig. He's with Mark Fauser, his special guest.
I'm here with Mark Fauser on the sidelines. Mark is Director of Sales, Marketing, and Creative Development for Marion Community Schools. He's been responsible for the creation and development of the Marion Giants Sports Hall of Fame, which opened today, I think, for the first time.
Right.
I had a chance to look through it earlier today, and it's really impressive. Would you tell us a little bit about the vision and development of that project?
Well, absolutely. Thank you for having me. We have a great Giant donor who had a passion for doing this, and this guy is a Mr. Giant, and so I love this person, so I said I'll take it on, and I really love the stories of Marion High School. I mean, you and I were from Missouri. They have great stories there, but there's something really special about Marion of all the years and having people in the Hall of Fame like Stretch Murphy, or having people in the Olympics like Wayne and Kim Siebold, or Zach Randolph, and you name it, Will Whitaker in football, the Gallaghers in golf, Ronnie Russell in bowling, but all the interesting stories. And we did it not only to honor history, but to inspire the future. And we're seeing kids walking through there going, I want to be up there. And we hope they get the good work ethic and dream that. You have to visualize before you get there.
That's great. Give me an idea about if people want to go see the Hall of Fame, what's involved in that?
Well, now it's open to the public, so it's a permanently open scenario. We welcome everybody in, and it's open for our kids, and we like our opponents to come through that hallway before they go to the dressing room and know they're in big trouble.
That's great. I'm curious, is there an admission charge, or it's just free to the public?
It is generous donor. Again, a lot of the signs around here, things are our alumni. They donate, and so it's no cost to Marion Community Schools. That puts some money for programs for the schools, which is important. So these are people that are raising the bar, and there's so many miracles happening with alumni going, I want to give, I want to help, and that's how it all starts.
Well, Mark, it was great to go through there. I appreciate the work you've done on that, and thanks for sharing a little bit with us.
I appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. Take care.
All right, well, we're just about ready to kick off the third quarter here, and Marion will have to kick it off to Muncie. Muncie won the tip and the coin toss. They deferred the second half, so they gotta have something happen here positively here early in the third quarter.
Well, first of all, it's been an extended halftime.
Yeah,
really extended halftime, some 25 minutes, I'm guessing. You need to get your sweat going early, and you need to come out and popping, hitting pads and doing things like that. And certainly, it seems like a long time ago that the first half occurred. So it's almost like a new game, so to speak, just because it's been such a long time. And that's what happens with homecoming.
Well, the teams were lined up out there, and pointed in the wrong direction, and so now we're going to get this straight. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but
looked like a fire drill out there of some kind.
Right. Well, you know, first quarter, the Giants took the early lead 7-0. They were trying to mix the throw in there along with the run. They didn't look that sharp offensively. They saw some things on defense they liked. They went to the ground game and really just pounded it out on the ground. I got to believe we're going to see a lot more in the second half of that.
You will, and especially after that second interception that the Giants had. They're going to run the ball a lot more.
Well, we're underway here in the third quarter. The kickoff is returned out to the 20-yard line, and then down at the bottom of that pile for the Giants, boy, a whole host of tacklers led by, I believe it was Christian Ross down there making the stop. But
here we see it right there. Christian was one of them, and then once again there was
Juan
Ramirez.
Carlos Ramirez, yes.
He's that's his second tackle he's been on a kickoff. So your specialty team, those guys take that very prideful and do the job that it takes to make yourself a good specialty team.
Well, here we go. First play from scrimmage, and he's just going to eat it. Back there inside the 15-yard line, and again on the tackle that time. Was that Christian Ross?
He plays that outside backer, and that's probably was. Here it is as they're running the jet sweep, and there was Christian Ross. He's takes the man down, big tackle for loss, and a 2nd and 15 for Muncie Central, and they've had very little to write home about in their offensive threats.
Gillentine is going to roll to the right. Boy, he just lobs it. Is that not pass interference down there? And there's the flag, yes. The intended receiver was Tariq Walker, who's a pretty good wideout. That's the first time I believe they've targeted him. And maybe they're going to try to look at him a little bit more. He's a big wideout. He had one-on-one coverage out there. And was that Justin Johnson? Yeah, it was. He just kind of grabbed him.
Justin lost the ball. That's what happens. If you lose the ball, if you don't look back and follow the ball coming to you, it's pretty easy to get a pass interference call. And all he did, instead of getting beat deep, he just tackled the guy. He said, okay, I'll take the penalty. And it is a 15-yard penalty in high school. And
an automatic first down, I believe. Well, no.
Well, it is going to be a first down, but it's it wasn't by much.
Well, it'll be 1st and 10. Out across the 30, right at the 31-yard line. Inside handoff. Abbott, who's ran hard tonight, just fights his way for a gain of 2 yards. That'll be it. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
You got Dre Aguilar from that defensive end pulling him down. You've got Montreal Pogue in on the tackle as they try to go off the right side. That's a pretty strong side for the Giants. I'm not sure there is a good side to run against this defense.
Pogue in that linebacker position. Showed blitz for a minute, backs out of it. Now in the left flat. Here is the first down pickup to number 88. That's Caleb Beams with the reception. That'll be a first down for Muncie Central. That's only the 3rd pickup of the first down, though, from scrimmage.
Here we see the play, and Beams dragging across right there and getting the little out pass and getting the first down. Giants have it covered, but they give up the first down.
This drive began at the 20. They've moved it out to the 43. Now working the other side, completed pass there to number 22. That's Nick Phillips, but he's taken down immediately on the tackle that time. I think it was Anthony Reynolds.
We talked about for the Giants, and here's that play again. What are they taking away from you, and what are they giving you? Well, at halftime, Muncie Central figured out these little out passes are wide open because they've got guys in tight.
Here's Abbott. Met at the line of scrimmage, still on his feet, but he just stood up there. He'll gain a yard with that spot. But now it'll be 3rd down and 6.
And that's what I was talking about. The Giants are taking away the inside of Muncie Central. They just tried to run it up the gut. They got very little. They got hit by 4 guys. But those little soft passes on the outside, but they got to watch it, because if they keep throwing them, then those outside backers are going to jump the route, and it could be a pick 6.
3rd down and 6, first possession of the 3rd. Gillentine rolls. He's got his man in the flat. Beams is going to be hit just short of the yard to gain for the first down. He's going to be about a half a yard shy, and it'll be 4th down.
4 down territory in my estimation when you're down. And again, this is the 3rd out pass that they've run, been wide open. Giants are quick to get there, but they're giving up 7, 8 yards when they give up that pass.
I'm a little surprised they're inside Marion territory. That looks like the Bearcats are going to kick it away. They don't have enough guys on the field, and now they do. Well, no, it's a reverse, and there's a flag on the play. He barely got the first down yardage, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see who it's against.
It might be a jump on the Giants. Let's see.
Well, the Giants are pointing to Muncie, and Muncie was pointing at the Giants.
Now they're going to call procedure against
Yeah,
Muncie
it's a
Central.
procedure penalty. The 6th penalty. And, boy, penalties have really hurt Muncie Central tonight.
That's what the coach told us yesterday, and it's true. You know, it's no wonder they've lost 5 games because they do make mistakes. We've seen them in several 3rd and 4th and shorts, and then they get those procedure penalties, and they just go right back, and then it's tough to get the first down.
Bayul is going to kick it away here for Muncie Central, and that is one of those things that kind of deflates the old balloon right there, isn't it?
It does, and you know they were moving the ball coming out, maybe giving the Giants a hard time, but looks like they're going to have to kick it this time.
Good snap. Kick is away. Low line drive. And it's going to take a Muncie Central bounce inside the 15 and down at the 11-yard line. Now there's a very, very late flag coming in here. Now one of the Giants hit Muncie Bearcat in the back there, kind of like a pretty obvious block in the back.
There was no reason to do it because they were just watching the ball move.
Well, that could pin the Giants really deep in their own territory.
Yeah, it's not anything that will endanger the Giants of losing the ball, but it will pin them back inside the 10. Block in the back.
Well, as they mark off this penalty, let's check in once again with down on the field.
I talked with Coach Chambers right before halftime. Asked him if he thought there might be any adjustments he might want to make at halftime, and he said, no, he didn't really think so. So I caught up with one of the players just a few moments ago, and he asked him if there were any adjustments, and the coach just said, no, just keep on playing the way you're playing. So I think he's pretty pleased with the effort so far.
Well, thank you very much, Greg. Only the 3rd penalty on the Giants, but it's going to take him all the way back to the 5-yard line. Here's Johnson. Inside handoff and a gain of about 3 yards. Gets it out to the 9-yard line. But getting back to what Greg said there, really is no need for the Giants really to change up anything. They got the 14-0 lead.
They threw 2 interceptions. That's the big thing that they got to correct. And they had pretty well corrected it, though, Roger, because they'd run most of the game. They got the big touchdown pass early, but the running game has been the strength of the offense for Marion Giants.
On 2nd down, Pogue in motion. There's a flag on the play. Stop this play, and it'll be a procedure penalty against the Giants, so that'll back them up 5 more.
They're going the wrong way right now. They're inside their own 5. See where the ball is officially put.
This will be a half the distance to the goal penalty. And so it moves it down to the 4. Well, just inside the 5, not to the quite to the 4. Penalties are getting contagious.
Yeah, they are, and that's 2 penalties in a row on the Giants, putting them in very tough situation. It's a 2nd and 12, but it's still a very doable thing. The Muncie has tightened up the inside just a little bit from the first half.
Johnson kept it on the carry that time, gets it out to the 10-yard line. And so now it'll be 3rd down and 5 to go, a long 5 here.
And here we see the play of Juice Johnson keeping the ball and getting the ball up there in a very doable 3rd and 5. I think this is a big play in this to this point, because it keeps the Giants' offense moving the ball.
Big play for the Bearcats defense if they can get a stop here. That pass intended over there for Hamilton is way over his head, incomplete, and so the Giants will have to kick it away, and their punter, he'll be standing in his own end zone.
Juice looks like he's just off a little bit. Everything is sailing on him. That's the thing I've noticed. And a lot of times that's because you don't have both feet set. You're throwing on the run, and so the ball will sail on you. It went out of bounds, so there was no threat of the interception, but the Giants now face a 4th and 5.
Well, Clemens standing right at the goal line. He gets the snap. Gets that ball away very quickly, and it's a very good kick. Boy, it takes a fortuitous bounce for Muncie Central as it hit right at the 40 and bounced backward a couple yards where it's down at the 42-yard line.
He kicked that from his own goal line, and the ball is on the Muncie Central 47, so that ball went over 50 yards in the air. Officially, they count it 37 or 38 yards.
I said 42. Of course, that's the 47-yard line where Muncie Central have their second possession of the second half. 6:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter. You know, even though the Giants have the big 14-0 lead, you certainly don't feel that this game is over by any stretch of imagination or in control. Neither team is taking control. The Giants have the 14-0 lead. You are right about that. But they're not dominating this game. They've made mistakes, as Muncie Central has. And I think that's the biggest thing with Muncie Central. They have moved the ball against the Giants. The penalties, more than anything, have killed their efforts to move the ball. Well, loss of a yard on 1st down makes it 2nd down and 11. I keep looking down here at the bottom of the screen, number 7, Walker. They looked at him once. I'm waiting for them to go back to him again. Here is a wide open man. It's Beams at the 30. Oh, and it's just over his head, out of bounds, but Beams was wide open on that right sideline. A confusion that time. They were actually in zone cover, and a 2-deep zone. You've got to cover that. That deep safety has got to cover that. Just very fortunate there, and that's Burke over there, and I don't know if he's was the man that was responsible for that. Very fortunate that the ball was not caught. Well, it's 3rd and 11 now for Muncie Central. Straight drop. They're setting up the screen. Left side, here's Abbott. Well read and covered that time by the Giants, and Darryl Brown in on the stop for the Giants, along with Juice Johnson coming up. No, actually, that was Andre Aguilar as well. Andre Aguilar and Darryl Brown. He's pretty special. Leads the team in tackle as that linebacker. He reads this screen, no problems. 2 guys are there to stop their effort, and it looks like, again, Muncie's going to have to punt the ball. Yeah, another punting situation here for the Bearcats. A high hanging punt. It's short and bounces straight up and comes straight down in the arms of a Bearcat at the 27-yard line. There to down it for Muncie was Dennis. 22-yard punt. 4:47 remains here in the 3rd quarter. Second possession for the Giants. They'll set up shop at the 27-yard line. Of course, that last possession after a good punt and then the penalty, they started at the 5 and really didn't do anything with it. So we'll see if they can get it going here in their second possession.
Much better field position here. I'm looking right now. It looks to me like the middle is still open.
Here's the handoff, big hole. Thomas with the spin and is pulled down after a pickup of 9, maybe 10 yards. We'll see if it's a first down or not, but a good pickup on first down nonetheless.
Just a quick hitter off left tackle by J.K. Thomas, and he gets down, gets hit after about 6 yards right here, but he keeps going, spins out, gets that extra yard, and that's your hustle yards. That's your yards after contact. 5 more yards and got him the first down.
Now, when you're at home playing the video games, what's that? What button do you hit to spin like that?
Well, you know what?
He fumbled the ball. Excuse me, Ron.
That's fine. But it is a taught. It's something that when I had the offensive backs, you run it every day. You run your spin outs, you run your cuts, because a lot of people who aren't taught that on an everyday basis, they don't plant well.
This was nearly the 3rd turnover of the night for the Giants, but Thomas is able to pick that one back up. It bounced back into his arms.
Very fortunate, because he had his eyes up and didn't have the clamp on the ball. That was very fortunate that they didn't get the ball back.
Well, it'll be second down. Pogue in motion. Here's the handoff to Thomas. Picks up 3 yards as he gets it out to the 39-yard line. You know, every carry isn't going to be a big gainer, but you get the feeling that they keep handing the ball off to J.K. Thomas. Sooner or later, he's going to break a long one.
He does. He may get tackled, but because he keeps his feet active, he gets those extra yards. And the yards after contact, one of these times, the yards after contact is not going to be 4 or 5 yards. It's going to be 40 yards and a 6-yard or a 6-point touchdown.
Well, it's 3rd and 8, but quite frankly, I would not be surprised at all to see another running play here from the Giants. Well, Johnson's looking to his left, has his man, but it's over the head of his intended receiver. He's looking that time for Eli Luton, but it's an incomplete pass, and the Giants will have to kick it away.
Throwing off his back heel, and I watched him that time. Throwing off his weight needs to be totally underneath him. Watch him throw off his back heel, and he just floats it. We've seen that several times, almost every time he's thrown it. In fact, the time he got the touchdown, he threw it a real high lob, and we're just fortunate that the man, Isaiah Hamilton, had his man beat.
Lemons back to punt this one away. He got that one away against some pressure. Takes a Marion bounce inside the 15. And, well, he grabbed it at the at what about the 9-yard line, but that ball was still rolling.
It was, and you kind of wonder, should you have let it go? But I think the thing that we are seeing from both teams after a 25-minute halftime is FLAT. They're both flat. The offenses are flat and the defenses are pretty good. They have both made a very good adjustments at halftime defensively, but the offenses are just come out flat, and with Juice Johnson, his balls when he throws them are just about 5 yards over the head of the intended receiver.
2.5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd possession for the Bearcats. Inside handoff is a gain of 2 yards, and make it 2nd down and 8.
Bearcats run this play right here just off right tackle. Can't see who that is underneath, but a nice shoestring tackle.
Not much running room that time for Abbott. Well, that with the spot, it's actually was only a gain of a yard, so it'll be 2nd down and 9.
See that giant line digging in, coming across hard.
They're going deep down the right sideline. He's looking for Walker. That was not a bad throw right there at all.
Very good throw, but Juice Johnson plays both sides of the ball. He throws from the quarterback side, but he plays defense on the other side, and he had Walker well covered, going stride for stride with him right there. And I tell you, they saw the fact that they missed a touchdown earlier, so they went deep, and this time Juice Johnson was there to cover.
Well, now the Bearcats are looking at 3rd and 9. You'd have to believe this is a throwing situation. Giants bring the blitz. The ball is on the ground.
That's
back in the end zone. It's going to be a safety.
It's you have Dre Aguilar, Montreal Pogue, and Brendan Martin all there on the ball. They get to split those 2 points equally, I think, as the ball is fumbled and the Giants get a safety.
Well, that makes the score 16-0. The Giants dialed up the blitz at the exact precise moment that paid off for them.
Yeah, the Montreal Pogue really is the one that kind of put him down, but the other two were right there. But great call of a blitz by defensive coach Brian Burke.
Well, the Giants defense comes up with the big scoring play. They extend their lead to 16-0, and now the offense is going to get the ball right back by virtue of the free kick here. And boy, now they're in a position where they could really maybe blow this one open.
You need to see something happen because both sides are flat. Muncie gave that safety more than the Giants took it, but it was a good blitz call by Coach Burke for his defense, and Giants pick up 2 points, but more importantly, they're going to have great field position on this kickoff.
Well, the ball will be placed back at the 20-yard line. Looks like they're going to tee it up. And,
and they do have the option there. They can punt the ball, or they can, it's wherever they feel like they can get it the longest. And in the pros a lot, they'll actually punt that.
Mayule approaches it, gets the kick up, high end over end. It's taken at the 40-yard line across midfield. Down the sideline for the Giants, that was Khalid Stamps, one of the up man, with a really nice return and gives the Giants tremendous field position.
A nice catch by him as he drops 10 yards to get that ball. Usually you like to have that back man come up and allow the up man to block for you, but Khalid Stamps did a nice catch and run and gets the ball down inside the 40-yard line of Muncie Central for the Giants. Giants in great field position.
Yeah, they'll have it 1st and 10. The ball is now at the 39-yard line of Muncie Central. And what I liked about Stamps on that return is he got the ball, made a move, and was very assertive. He didn't dance around with it.
He went north and south. He went north. Or actually south in this case.
Well, there was some sort of problem right there, so Juice Johnson is going to call for a timeout. Minute 44 to go in the third quarter. First timeout taken by the Marion Giants. They have a 16-0 lead.
You would hope that the Giants come out and get rid of that flatness. That's certainly the offense has not been flat. I think the offense has been the strength of the Giants this whole year, and when the offense is not on, which it's not, the passing game is definitely not there. And you say, well, one of the touchdowns was a passing touchdown. I'll give you that. But most of the passes since that have sailed over the top of the head. So I know the coaching staff will work on Juice Johnson on his getting the weight underneath him and driving through this week.
Really quickly, let's say hi to our good buddy Steve Wright watching on Facebook Live out in the great state of Connecticut. And he can watch some IWU soccer. Big week coming up for Indiana Wesleyan Soccer Fall Sports. Watch for the men's soccer team to take the pitch next Wednesday against Spring Arbor University in a great Crossroads League matchup. Game time 7 p.m. from Wildcat Field. And you can see it here live on WIWU TV, streaming live on Facebook or on WIWTV.com or on the ESPN3 app and watch ESPN3 app. Man, you can watch WIWU TV Sports anywhere in the world, Ron.
I watched it down in Florida live last year.
Here is Rollins, or is JK out the outside. He's going to break it at the 5, and he's down down at the 1 yard line.
Horse collar on the tackle. But certainly the Giants came out in I hope we have this on replay because they ran a double hip, double wing out here, and they got the backer right here. They got the backer and the end turn. And you're talking about J.K. Will he break it? Yes, he did.
Yep.
And that's the 40 yards we were talking about. That once he breaks through a tackle that he's going to get, and certainly he did right there. They looked really good on that play, but I think the formation that the coach called really set up the play.
38 yards on that run by J.K. Thomas. This is J.K. Rollins. That's the author.
Yeah. Is that the Harry Potter one?
Yes.
Or
Maybe we can just call J.K. Thomas. We'll call him Harry Potter for
There you
sure.
go.
Yeah,
There you
new
go.
nickname. Well, it's going to be 1st and goal for the Giants at the 1 foot line now.
Same formation for the Giants.
Juice Johnson going to keep it, go in the end zone for the Marion Giants touchdown. 2 plays and 39 yards. The Giants take now the big lead. They extend it to 22-0 with the extra point to come.
And that's Marion at his best. The spread wasn't working, so they brought in 2 guys to run in the right hip formation, which just off the right tight end, and they had all that power out there, blocking power, to get J.K. around, and they went back to the same formation, only this time when they overloaded, Juice Johnson goes back to the weak side. That's it. Great read.
Well, a rarity there on the extra point attempt. A lot of pressure on Sam Vermillion. He was able to pull that one to the left, and here is the run that sets up the touchdown run, and 38 yards here from J.K. Thomas. The penalty was what, about 6 inches?
Yeah, that's again, it was a horse collar tackle, and here it is on the touchdown. Everything is supposed to go right. Nope, we're going back left with it, and Juice reads it, gets the touchdown, and like you said, that's just the 4th miss of the year for Sam.
Well, the Giants, with a minute 32 to go, here in the 3rd quarter, have a 22-0 lead. Said the Giants defense has had 3 shutouts on the season so far, and you know, as a defensive coach, you'd love to see another one here.
I talked to Brian Burke a lot, and he is very proud of that defense, and he does a nice job calling that defense, mixing it up and getting different guys in, because a lot of those guys are going both ways on offense and defense.
Lemons drives that one. That's a live ball, and it's picked up at the 2, and it's going to be a tackle down at the 1 yard line. That was Breams who thought that ball was going to go out of bounds. Well, it never did go out of bounds or into the end zone, and that was a live ball he had to pick up and run.
He just let it. What a great kick, number 1 by Christian Lemons.
Oh, my goodness.
Great kick that it dies right on the 1 yard line. And then there was Ramirez. Here's the kick. He's saying, oh, my gosh. And here comes Ramirez. Boom. And there was somebody else underneath there. That was DeCarlo Clayton underneath there.
Now, if Breams doesn't pick up that ball and do something with it,
That's
the Giants take it and maybe score a touchdown.
I'm thinking right now you bring them all right now because they're on the 3 yard line. They got a safety before. They are. I guarantee you they're not going to hand it off that deep bag. Oh, they do.
Oh, he's hit in the hole. Oh, Abbott was met in the hole. I'm not sure if that was Lemons or who it was.
No, that's Darryl Brown, our buddy Darryl Brown, who leads the Giants in tackling. And I told you, they will blitz now. Here it comes. Watch Darryl Brown right there on the blitz, not picked up, and he puts him on the ground at the 1 yard line. Darryl Brown, what a great hit. And then some help then from Anthony Reynolds.
Excuse me. That's who was out helping Brown. 2nd down and 11 after a loss of 1. Abbott again, same play. Just fights his way to the 4, still on his feet, and goes down around the 5. Now a little bit of extracurricular activity there.
You see Anthony Reynolds at the bottom. I see Ramirez at the bottom. I see Dre Aguilar in on that tackle, and it's 3rd and about 8. Are we going to call it 8 or 9? And they've got their back, and I don't know. Do you try to throw here? I don't think you do.
Well, they're going to bring in a whole new set of.
Yeah, this is their receiving core. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
4 wideouts.
Your 2 linebackers have got to watch.
Quick hitter. That side has his man incomplete. The Bearcats were looking for a flag. Looked like Washington in on the coverage there. The intended receiver, Andrew Stevenson, got his hands on it, but it was knocked away just as soon as he was able to touch the football.
He got lit up too on that quick slant. That's what it was a quick slant. Watch him come inside. He steps back, 1, 2, 3, throws the ball right there. And
yeah, and on the coverage there, Harry's Washington just perfectly timed
he did.
that play.
Perfectly timed it.
Boy, the punter is back at.
He cannot step back.
No, if it goes anywhere over his head at all, that's going to be a safety. Another flag down. A punt is away. It's a very short punt that is now bouncing inside the 20.
If you're the Giants, because I think it was a procedure penalty,
You
you don't take this flag. I think the call is just 6 guys on the line is what he was. Procedure, he held up 6.
There's a formation. You could see the lips of the official there.
And that's what those sideline judges are for, is to count the number of guys on the line every play. You got to have 7 every play.
Well, that's the end of the 3rd quarter of play, with the Giants on top 22-0.
Finish the game. The Giants won 60-0. Tonight, we're going to have several players from that team. So let's hear it for the 1969 undefeated Marion Giant football champions. We're on the road with their coach, Wayne Jones.
Good look at the undefeated 1969 Marion Giants football squad. The kind of unofficial state champions that year. There really wasn't a tournament format back then, but they were voted in one poll. Well, as we're back to live action, Juice Johnson on the first play of the 4th quarter takes it into the end zone, and just like that, it's another Giants touchdown.
Yeah, you've got the feeling that with the mistakes Muncie was making, that the Giants would come alive. Juice Johnson just ran and did the keep off of the dive fake and was wide open going in. Again, the middle is soft, and the Giants went after the middle.
On the first play of the 4th quarter, Juice Johnson, the 18-yard touchdown run, the extra point there from Vermillion, and it's a 29-0 Marion Giant lead, and that's where all the running has been all night long.
That is when you have a seasoned veteran back there at quarterback who can take the time to read what the defense is giving you. And right now you see that that's Dre Aguilar sitting on the sideline having his ankle looked at. I think maybe in one of those tackles down on the goal line, he might have gotten it underneath it. But I was going to go back to that 69 team. That's, believe it or not, was when I first started. And that team scored 540 points, was ranked #1 going into the last game, I think against Newcastle. They scored 60-some points and ended up #2. Now, how that happened, it was all a rating system. South Bend St. Joe, I believe, was the one that won it that year, but it was just a voting system. It was not a playoff system. But certainly Marion was the state champion by, I think it's called Lichtenhouse.
Yeah.
They voted the Giants #1 that year. And so we have the white ball that Lichtenhouse awards. That's in the the hallowed halls of Marion High School still on display for that 1969 team.
Well, the first play of the fourth quarter, and the Giants on top 29-0. And well, looks like we have one of the officials who needs some attention here now.
Yeah, he's. They're going to have to work a man short.
And off camera, we can see he's limping pretty good. Well, the Giants will kick it away here. The Bearcats looking for something positive to happen here. Kickoff. Well, there was no kickoff. Apparently, as there's a flag on the play, and I think the Giants were offsides on the kickoff.
They called them offsides, and I believe they were. Maybe they're trying to just buy a little time for this official to be looked at. They have him down there working on his leg. Could be cramps too. The trainer is down there.
You know, in the first half, the Giants had only 2 penalties. This half, and we really are just underway in the fourth quarter, 4 penalties. So if you want to say that maybe one criticism of the Giants here in the second half is maybe they've gotten a little bit careless, but it was such a long halftime.
I will tell you this, though, from a coaching standpoint. From a coaching standpoint, a lot of times the more penalties you get, the more aggressive you are.
Mm-hmm.
And the Giants have become a lot more aggressive in this second half. Look at this.
And kickoff taken by Breams. Gets it out across the 25, out to the 30. And taken down to the 31-yard line where Muncie will have it there.
Ramirez again on the tackle along with Anthony Reynolds. Anthony's played a nice defensive game. He's right there on the tackle. Ramirez and Reynolds. I think right now the Giants, you will see the Giants stay. I think they want a shutout for this game. You're going to see at least defensive starter play this entire game.
Gillentine, straight drop. Looking left, his man was open, but it's out of bounds, incomplete. His intended receiver that time was Nick Phillips, number 22, and it looked like he had a step out there on the Giant defender.
J.K. Thomas, the Giant defender, a lot of times he can make up that. And you'll see him right there just put his hand up just enough to cause the ball. And it wasn't a great throw from Gillentine. Gillentine has had his troubles throwing the ball tonight as well as Juice Johnson.
Second down. Under pressure, Gillentine's going to eat the ball back at the 26 or the 27-yard line.
From the right defensive end spot, Brendan Martin comes across and takes him down. You know, Muncie Central may end up this game in negative yardage. Here's Brandon Martin coming across, and he gets the solo tackle and a tackle for loss. And, you know, nothing makes those defensive linemen happier than get those tackles for loss.
Well, after that loss on the play, it'll be 3rd down and 13. Breams in motion. Gillentine rolling to the right. Throws on the run, has his man. It's caught at the 35, but he's taken down right there, and so it'll be short of the first down.
Giants with a big tackle. I can't tell whether that was Pogue or whether it was Braden Burke. It might have been Braden Burke on the big hit as they are short. And once again, Muncie Central are going to punt the ball.
Well, 5 possessions for Muncie Central here in the second half. They've had to punt it away 4 times. And their third possession, they gave it up on a safety. Here's the punt. It is high but short. Takes a sideways bounce and it's down at the 41-yard line.
Another 25-yard punt. Giants great field position. All teams are on go right now for the Giants, and it looks like Muncie Central maybe has kind of come to the fact that they're not going to win this ball game. Certainly the Giants offense has awakened in this second half, and as well as the defense. The defense has a safety, a 2-point score for the defense. Especially teams have been pretty good, and offense have definitely, the running game has made the Giants game just a little bit easier in the second half.
Well, I'm curious now, Ron, to watch the Giants. Do they just keep the ball on the ground and run this clock out, or do they try to work on that passing game a little bit and see if they can't get a little bit of a kind of a positive feel out of their passing game, but as they go into next week's game?
To be honest, I think you've probably seen as much passing as you're going to get. There's J.K. Thomas taking the ball outside. He gets the corner turned a little bit and picks up 5 yards. And, of course, even when your game's not there, if you get 5 yards, 5 times 2 is 10, so that's going to be first downs. And that's the running game has been the dominant force. And again, we haven't stressed it enough, but that Giant line, they're getting the job done.
Second down. Johnson's going to keep it. Gets it to midfield. Turns it upfield. The 40 has a seam. 35-30 at the 25, and finally hauled down at the 22-yard line. A big gain and a first down for the Giants deep into Muncie territory.
Juice Johnson, here we go. Watch that the line got everybody pinned. And Juice gets outside, gets it turned. There's a great block from Brown. And Johnson gets down there. I like this offensive line. I like the receivers out there when the ball is running. They get good blocks from them. Certainly Brown and Braden Burke. These guys aren't just pretty faces out there.
Johnson gives it. No, he keeps it. Right side. 15. 10 makes a move before he's run out of bounds inside the 10. And out at the 8-yard line, it'll be first and goal for the Giants there.
Well, I know the defense read the scouting report that Juice Johnson is 80% of the Giants' offense, but right now he's got it clicking. Here he does a little step outside, turns it up, gets some nice blocks, goes out of bounds without being hit, and the Giants are in the red zone.
Here's the inside handoff. J.K. Thomas.
Still going.
Still fighting. Gets it inside the 5.
I think the official mark will be right at the 4-yard line, maybe the 3.5. But J.K. kept those legs going.
Well, it'll be second down.
Here he goes. Nice blocking right there. I saw a good one from Montreal Pogue. J.K. just doesn't quit.
.8:22 to go here. The Giants on top 29-0, looking to extend that lead by 6 more. Here comes the blitz, but
blitz was too early, I think. Offsides.
And the Bearcats, I think, coming off that right side for them was Adrian Level, who we talked about a little bit in that first half. Had a nice first half.
Giants led offensively on that offensive line by 3-year starter Manny Davis. Manuel he's paid his price. He came up through the ranks, and now he's the big senior, and he anchors that field, and certainly number 59 in there is a player.
Second and 2. Inside handoff. And into the end zone for the touchdown once again is J.K. Thomas.
J.K. Thomas on the, but did you see the offensive line? Everybody on the Muncie line and the secondary were back in. Here we go. Watch this line surge, and all the whites go backwards. What a great offensive line surge that was, and that was an easy run then for J.K. Thomas.
Well, it only takes the Giants about 4 plays to go 59 yards. Capped off by the 2-yard touchdown run by J.K. Thomas, and it's 35-0. Sam Vermillion in now for the extra point attempt. That one is up. It is good. And it's a 36-0 ball game with 7:53 to go.
Eli Luton's with a good hold that time. Ball just a little bit low, grabs the ball, and they get it off in time to get that extra point.
Greg. We'll check back in with Greg in just a second here. All right, now we got Greg.
Found a familiar face down here on the sidelines. With me is Jordan Berry. She's a 2013 graduate of Marion High School. She also used to work with us on WIWU TV. She graduated from IWU last spring, and ever since she's been working for Colts punter Pat McAfee. What's that like? Tell us a little bit, Jordan.
Well, I will say that when I was working for the TV station, I pretended that I knew about sports. Now I'm still pretending, but I'm getting a little bit better at it. A little bit better.
Great. So they said that they finally figured out you had a little bit of camera experience?
Yeah. I've been really used to just doing personal assistant work, so secretarial stuff, but the other day they found out that I actually knew how to shoot things, and so I think this next couple of weeks you'll see me behind a camera doing stuff for Pat. So I'm excited, a little nervous, I'm a little rusty. Maybe I should take the camera over tonight and kind of test myself out to see how I'm doing.
Good idea. We're going to shoot it back up to Ron and Roger for a little R&R in the booth.
There you go.
Great to see Jordan. A lot of fun around the studios of WIWU over the years. Well, here is the first down play. A nice little pickup on first down. Gets it out across the 30, out to 31-yard line. Abbott on the reception there.
You know, and you talk about, here's the play, a little out route, missed tackle. There is, I believe, Brandon Burke with the tackle, but you got alumni coming in. That's family. For those of us who have graduated from down at 40th Street and Washington, 42nd and Washington, that's family.
Here's the quick hitter going the other way now. And the reception that time. Nick Phillips picks up the first down for the Bearcats here.
Quick throws. What they call a 3 count. It's 1, 2, 3 throw, and it's a total timing play. And the first 2 times, the timing has been great.
You know, Muncie does seem to move the football at times when they don't hurt themselves, but penalties have just been terrible. Here is the reception, good for about pickup of 10 yards out to the 48-yard line. Walker with the reception that time, and this possession right now, the Bearcats look like an offensive juggernaut.
Little comeback route as Brown gets a tackle. They're giving just a little bit more, and I like to see them give as far as the cushion go. Now the cushion's tightened up a little bit. Maybe we can get a little closer coverage.
Here's the toss out here in the flat. Breams slips one tackle, gets inside the 45 and down to the 40. It's a pickup of 11 yards, and just like that, that's 3 consecutive first downs for the Muncie Bearcats.
And you say, where has that been all game? Well, they're in their 2-minute mode right now because they're just trying to score. They're in their hurry up. They've got double-double, 2 guys wide each side, 1 guy back to protect and maybe to come out of the backfield.
Here's the play action. Under pressure, the long pass down the middle of the field. It's incomplete. Braden Burke, the closest man there, he was for the Giants' intended receiver, was Tyreek Walker, but that time Gillentine was under a little bit of under some pressure there, had to get rid of it earlier than he wanted.
That was the reason. Here's the play. Here's the pressure coming from the Giants. All 4 of them get back there. Braden Burke trying for his 5th interception. The ball's over the top of his head, too.
You know, and I think the pressure was coming just from the down linemen. They didn't have to bring blitz there or anything, and that's what you love to see, don't you?
Like they're down people. They're 4 down linemen.
Quick hitter right side. Completed pass. Pickup of a couple more yards after a slip tackle. Gain of 7 yards there as Stevenson with the reception for the Bearcats.
We're going to see it right here. Little turn in, and Anthony Reynolds misses. Up comes, it looks like Brown again to get the tackle.
Whereas the Giants were keeping the ball on the ground, the Bearcats, every play from scrimmage on this possession has been a pass play. That one was intended for Breams, incomplete, and so now it's a 4th down for Muncie.
Throw it again and throw that little out route because it's all timing route. It's a 1, 2, 3 throw. If you count on it to yourself, 1, 2, 3, the ball's in the air on the 3rd count, and the Giants really haven't had a chance to react to it.
Well, we have a timeout here. Muncie has all 3 timeouts remaining. Well, apparently they did not call a timeout. All right. Gillentine on 4th down. Straight drop. Here comes the blitz. Looking for Walker, and it's knocked away. Tipped, almost caught for the touchdown by Walker. He had 1-on-1 coverage over there, but Gillentine under pressure had to unload it.
And that looked like Keyshawn Taylor on the coverage. Keyshawn gets a little bit of a tip here, but you don't want to tip it back to the man. That's called a deflection, and he'll get credit for that. Giants take over, and I believe that's the 3rd or 4th time that they've stopped them on 4th down.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time, first time here in the 2nd half that the Giants force a turnover on down, so they'll have it 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. 5:38 to go here in the ball game.
Tightening up the middle just a little bit, so they go outside.
High snap. And new running back in here now for the Giants. That's number 11, Stamps. Just a freshman, 5'5", 160, but we saw a little bit of what he could do on that one short kickoff return.
We did, and we've seen him a little bit on both sides of the ball and on specialty teams. This young man has a lot of quicks, and we saw right there he made 3 yards out of really nothing. There's a nice little step out, and then, again, yards after contact. What do you do with him? Well, he got 3 yards instead of getting tackled at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 7. Now you see the some different substitutions here for the Giants. Of course, we mentioned Stamps just a minute ago, but in that quarterback, should mention for the Giants is number 1, Keyshawn Taylor.
And Taylor is the one that was on offense or defense to tip the ball away.
Taylor's got some speed at that position, no doubt about it.
Giants have got a lot of athleticism, and not just at the first go around. It's the second team is very quick too, and I think the future looks pretty good.
Taylor, once again, a high snap. Stamps gets out across the 40 to the 41. It looks like there's going to be about a yard shy of the yard to gain for the 1st down. So it's going to be 4th and 1.
Trying to decide what to do. Whether you're going to send in the punt team. I bet they end up taking a timeout because the clock is running down.
And see Christian Lemon's coming in, and he's usually
Christian
the punter.
Is your punter.
So on 4th and 1 from the 41-yard line, the Giants are going to kick this one away.
Interesting to note that the snapper on the punt team is Eli Lutens, who holds on the extra points.
There's a low line drive. Boy, no one came up to field that one. Now, Ron, that's twice now in a special team situation where it looks like the Giants could have got a little bit more of a roll, but a player down the football when it looked like it was going to roll in favor of the Giants.
And again, the only thing I can say as a coach, no, you'd like to see it, but you also like that hustle that got them down there. And they just want to, I know what the thinking there is. The player wants to down it so the other team can't pick it up. And by the way, if you touch that ball, but don't down it. That's still a live ball, and I've seen it run back for a touchdown because the defense relaxes. So, you know, if they're going to touch it, they better take it down, and I guess that's the better end of the deal.
Well, Muncie Central with 3:27 to go will have it 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. But, you know, we've talked a lot about Juice Johnson tonight and J.K. Thomas. Talked about Darryl Brown, you know, backs, linebackers, Braden Burke, of course. But tonight the Giants won this game in the trenches.
They did. They absolutely did, both on offense and defense. And a lot of those guys go both ways. But I think you're absolutely right there. You've got an offensive line that moves the defense backwards and a defensive line that stands in and allows those linebackers to come and get those tackles for loss.
And now it's up to this second unit on defense to hold on to this shutout here. First down reception gets it out to the 24-yard line, but a lot of substitutions now into this Marion Giant lineup.
And make no mistake, they want that shutout. Here's the play, just a little bit. It's thrown right there, but the Giants have two new guys in to get the tackle.
2nd and 5, quick hitter. Oh, nice catch there by Breams out across the 30. That throw was a little behind him.
It was. Beams is one of their regulars, one of their starting people, and he did a nice job on the comeback.
Beams, certainly Beams the leading receiver for the Bearcats tonight. It was Keyshawn Taylor in on the tackle.
You getting the first names right on those guys. Rawlings and Johnson.
He's got a man. Gillentine does a big pass play inside Marion Giant territory, inside the 35, and finally, let's see where they're going to count him out of bounds. Inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. That was a perfectly thrown football in between two defenders.
So what do you do if you're Coach Burks? You let leave the twos in to possibly give up the first touchdown and lose your shutout, or do you let them play and get experience? I think they're just going to let him play.
Yeah. You never know down the stretch as we're getting late in the season and closer to tournament time when you're going to need one of these guys. Well, it's on that second unit to have to come in, whether it's injury or whatnot, to make some plays.
Yeah, it was Walker on the catch as he does here's that long play. There is Cordell Pryor coming across and getting the push out to save the touchdown.
Yeah, that was Nick Phillips on the reception there.
Got about 2 minutes left here, and the shutout is in danger.
Gillentine looking right, going towards the end zone, well covered. Oh, there's a flag on the play, and it looks like, not sure who that is for the Giants. Yeah, it's Cordell Pryor, I think, that was in on.
He just slowed down. I don't think that was past it. Well, let's watch it if we get the replay here, because he just slows down, and the guys in the truck are right there on it. I think all he does is slow down, and the offense makes the contact. Well, look at it. He's right there. He's just slowing down.
Good position, turns his head around. I do not agree with that call.
And that was a half the distance to the goal.
Here's the handoff at the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown. A touchdown run of 6 yards that time from Andrew Abbott, and the Bearcats get on the board.
They do, and you hate to give up the shutout, but you gotta play the second team, and I think that gets them experience. That's what it's all about. It's getting as many guys to play so that when the guys that graduate this year are gone, those guys have experience coming back.
Extra point attempt here from Bayul. Snap is down. The kick is up. It's a low line drive, but it is good. That makes the score 36-7 as you take a look at this touchdown run, 6 yards from Abbott.
Just a little counter run. You got the guard pulling across there, and he bounces it outside. And Andrew Abbott, he's one of their featured runners. He gets the touchdown.
Well, that touchdown drive started all the way back at the Marion Giant 19-yard line, so 71 yards in that drive, but aided by that pass interference penalty in the end zone. But the big play was the big pass that got to Phillips that got the Bearcats deep into Giant territory.
Giants had guys out there close, but close doesn't get you anything when the ball is right on the money. And they got the ball down inside the 20, actually inside the 10, and then from there on in 2 plays they score a touchdown off of it. So give Muncie a little credit for not quitting.
No.
As the Giants come out, and right now with less than 2 minutes to go in this game, you want to make sure you get this ball, and then you want to hand it to the offense and let them kill the clock, because the clock, and I always learned this from John Madden. He's the guy that always said the clock is your enemy.
Well, do we see an onside kick here? Yep, we do. And it's fielded. Good job there by, who is that?
Brandon Martin, I think. Yep, Brandon Martin, maybe.
Oh, that was, I think it was Anthony Reynolds.
Anthony Reynolds.
One of the up men.
They were both over there, but Anthony Reynolds has been a running back in earlier times. A very good running back, as a matter of fact, but he's primarily a defensive player right now. Giants ready to maybe pack the bags and send Muncie home because it looks like this homecoming game belongs to the Giants.
36-7 with a minute 56 to go. The ball is at the 48-yard line. Keyshawn Taylor in at quarterback for the Giants. He keeps it. Nice move to get him out across midfield inside Bearcat territory. A gain of 8 yards to the, let's see, the 44-yard line.
Just want to keep that clock running. Nice move by him as he comes out here, and a little spin move to get a couple more yards as Keyshawn Taylor, a 5'11", 165-pound junior, comes in and fills in for Juice Johnson, who had a very good running game this game and helped the Giants get this victory that they're going to get.
Boy, there's Stamps with the carry, first down yardage inside the 40 down to the 35, and Stamps, boy, he hits the ball, hits the hole so quickly. He's built low to the ground and runs with a little power as well.
You got Stamps and you got J.K. Thomas for 3 more years, or for 2 more years after this. You got Stamps for 3 more years, so the runnings looks pretty solid for the Giants.
The keeper, Taylor, inside the 30, inside the 25. Boy, just about 10, 11, 12 yards of crack right now for the Giants on the ground.
Here we see it, and it is Taylor keeping the ball, taking it outside, tucking it in right there, getting good fundamentals, getting the ball to his outside arm, getting another first down, and they're really not trying to score as much as they are to run the clock.
Taylor keeps it. Oh, just pulled away from one would-be tackler and gets it to the 20-yard line. A gain of 5 on a play that looked like it was going to go nowhere.
We've seen a lot of good backs this year. Break tackles, that yards after contact. Here he is tackled, there he is hit, and he still keeps going, puts those shoulders down. Very good fundamentals from a back to run the ball, and it looks like the Giants are going to say that's enough.
Well, no one uses any timeouts, and indeed that will be all there is. There isn't going to be any more because the clock runs down. The Giants win 36-7 over the Muncie Central Bearcats. And again, just an impressive performance on the ground here tonight from the Marion Giants. And even though it wasn't a shutout, boy, a great game for the defense.
Great game for the defense. The Giants offense woke up in the second half. I think they made some good adjustments in the first half to run the middle. So it's a learning process. Every game's a learning process, and the Giants came out with a very convincing win over the Muncie Central Bearcats.
Well, there we see the two teams at the middle of the field shaking hands. Again, 36-7, the final score in this one. And now the Giants move on to 5-2, 3-2 in North Central play. We're going to take a break. Grant County High School football game of the week is coming to you on WIWU TV.
This week on Crossroads, we're at the James Dean Festival. Watch how the Lions Club saved the stage where it all began.
Ride along in one of those classic cars.
And the kiddos go running, not for James Dean, but for Garfield. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key. Those stories and more this week on Crossroads.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key.
It's Kappa. Here we go.
Here we go. Tries it actually works. Now I can maybe actually get some. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key. The Crossroads of Life brings people together, and that's what we try to do here each week.
Thanks for watching, everyone. So long.
On the bench, that one is tipped and it picked off, intercepted. Way at the 30, the 20s, down the sideline, touchdown.
WIWU TV's Concerts in the Park series continues with singer-songwriter John McLaughlin, only on WIWU TV.
To the outside, and that is a touchdown. Up goes a small full head of steam, and he has a blocker in front of him as he goes all the way to the end zone for a touchdown.
There you see the Marion Giants at the south end of the field here at Dick Luton Stadium's getting a little talk from the coaching staff. Coach Chambers here as they roll 36-7 over Muncie Central here tonight, and they move on now to go down to Indianapolis to take on a Tech team that is struggling a little bit this season, but it's on the road, and time though for the Giants to continue to build upon what they did. I liked what they did here tonight in terms of running the football. They had the two interceptions, but the second half took care of the football. Very few penalties in this ball game except for one short stretch, so it looked like they are improving.
I think the one thing you fix is your passing game.
Yeah.
With and it's very fixable. It's just getting Juice Johnson's feet under him, getting his feet or his weight on both feet, and driving the ball forward so it doesn't sail on him, which it did several times tonight, and he was intercepted twice. But pretty much this game was decided, as you said, if we gave a star of the game, it would be the defense. Because they set up, they not only scored a safety, but they set it up. I think we're going to look at highlights here.
There, J.K. Thomas and Justin Johnson. You know, Justin Johnson, number 2, the quarterback, and then J.K. Thomas, number 12, the tailback. Just that combination right there, and Justin doing a good job deciding when to keep and when to hand it off on the option. They were a really good 1-2 punch here.
They were, and watch the line as they get on the people. You know, when you don't fumble the ball and you've got a good running game going, that makes things happen. There's J.K. getting the corner turned, but again, watch the defense here as they come up, and there you get Pogue coming up and getting a big tackle. Here is Juice Johnson throwing the ball deep. Wide open is Isaiah Hamilton, and Isaiah takes it in, and that kind of broke the back. That was the first touchdown. The Giants were never in threat of winning this game after that.
You know, we talked about that Giants defense, but it was a lot of guys. Pogue, we talked about Darryl Brown a lot. Braden Burke had a nice ball game. We don't call the names of the interior linemen a lot, but they really control the line of scrimmage.
Well, Brandon Martin and Dre Aguilar had there's Dre Aguilar all over the quarterback, and here again on defense, watch as they blitz. that could have been a pick six.
Yeah, that was one of those plays where the defense came up, knocked it away, made the big play there. Again, there were times when this Muncie offense looked like they were on the verge of making something happen on the offense end, but a big penalty would send them back. And then when the Giants got the ball, J.K. Thomas, he powered over someone earlier. That time he kind of did the swan dive in the end zone.
He did. Here they are bringing the ball out. Nice shoestring tackle. It seemed like after they got the ball in good field position, the second half, or the first half, second half they were in trouble most of the time. There's another big tackle by one of our stars, Darryl Brown Jr.
And Zach Randolph Jr. in on there to kind of that's what you saw all the time. Someone making the hit, and then the rest of the defense, good team tackling coming in and finishing it up.
It is, and there is Darryl Brown carrying the ball too. But I think one of the things that people out there, if you don't know what the defensive schemes of, the defensive line is to protect the linebackers. They get into gaps and occupy people so that the linebackers can come up. So if they're doing their job, the inside backers and the outside backers are the leading tacklers on this team. And this year it has been the way it should be.
Well, we're going to go down to the field with Greg Fiebig, and he has the Victorious head coach, Craig Chambers, with him.
I've got Marion Giants head coach, Coach Chambers, here with us. Great game, Coach. Wonder if you might tell us a little bit about what really went well and what clicked for you tonight.
Defense did well. I mean, again, they've been playing well for us all season. So they kind of, offense would have took us a little time to get started. They kind of continued to do what they did. But overall, we had a real good game.
I know that homecoming can sometimes be a bit of a distraction. Was that tonight, or it looked like they were able to focus in spite of that?
Yeah, it started off slow. I mean, it was a big week for them. They was excited about it, especially the seniors being their last homecoming. So it took a few of them a little time to kind of get at ease, but once they did it, we did a pretty good job.
Okay, great. Who's your next opponent coming up?
We have Arsenal Tech. I mean, real good team, athletic team. So, like I said, a great opponent. We look forward to going and playing.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing with us a little bit. Have a good time celebrating this great win.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Back to Roger.
Well, Ron, Coach Chambers kind of reiterated what we had talked about. He's proud of the way his defense played tonight, no doubt, and he should be.
He should be. And Coach Chambers is a very modest man. He lets the kids get the glory, and that's another thing that was always taught to me early is the offense gets the kids get the glory and the coaches take the loss, and you have happy parents. So here's that play that is, and I know if he wanted to go back and get it, that Washington would try to go for it.
We're taking a look at some plays here, or some highlights here that are more like defensive oriented. Of course, a lot of times you watch highlights and you're thinking offense, but since the defense was the story of the night, and then you saw, I think that was Darryl Brown inside there, or
Dre Aguilar. Yeah. They've got two very good defensive end in Martin and Aguilar. Here's coming up quick. Wow, what a play that was.
And some pretty good open field tackling tonight. Yep. Very few times did you see, maybe late in the game, there was some maybe missed tackles, but in terms of tackling in the open field, doing a pretty good job there.
They do, and I like the linebackers, like the defensive ends, but those defensive tackles, they just don't get much recognition, but they are the guys that protect those linebackers, and they know it, their parents know it. It's just that we don't always talk to them.
And special teams was a win tonight for the Giants. Well, we're going to go right down to the field once again. Greg Fiebig, check in with some players.
I'm here with Braden Brown and Darryl Burke. Did I get that right? Got it the other way around. Sorry about that. You guys are both defensive players. Great defensive game tonight. What do you think was the key to it, and how did you get prepared for the game? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, we just came together as a group and conquered everything, and we just successfully succeeded.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Really just during the week, watching a lot of film, seeing their tendencies, and just like adapting to it during the game.
Either one of you seniors?
Yes, sir. Me.
What was it like having to do homecoming and prepare for a football game at the same time?
it was exciting, and I love it, man.
Yeah. You guys had a tough loss last weekend. What was it like to bounce back after that?
It felt really good. Muncie's a good team, and they got a lot of athletes, and we matched up pretty well.
Okay. Thank you guys for sharing again. Great game. Go celebrate with your team.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, then those guys should be happy, should be smiling. You win at home, homecoming, and go to 5-2. A lot to look forward to for the Giants.
They are in the top half of the conference. They get to go down to Tech. Tech's a big school, big Indianapolis school.
Well, we certainly want to thank everyone for joining us tonight here on WIWU TV for the Game of the Week. Be sure to be here next week as we go over to Oak Hill as Madison Grant takes on the Oak Hill Golden Eagles in big Grant County High School football. We'll see you next week here on WIWU TV.